Well, hello, 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 everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food with clean, intermittent fasting, and then the Feast of the OMAD. And this is the food plan that I love the most. I thought I had died and gone to heaven when I began keto a number of years ago because it just felt delicious and freeing and satisfying. And it worked for me for a number of years. Um, and then I kind of evolved into the OMAD world, and that was I was still having the keto in the OMAD world, and I was having things like keto pizza. I think that was the only keto-fied thing that I have. I wasn't really a keto fire, except for the pizza, which I can't wait to make again because I've bought a bag of almond flour and I've got the cream cheese, and I think it takes an egg. So I am looking forward to eventually having that. I always say I'm going to have it and then I don't. Um, so I was happy with the keto food plan because I could have meats and veggies and butter and oil, butter and oil and things like bacon. It worked for me for a long, long time. And I began to do the OMAD. I was doing 2MAD and then I went to the OMAD. And now I do clean intermittent fasting with the OMAD. And now I do whatever I want during the OMAD. I started watching Jackie Foodie or Foodie Jackie, and I don't know if you've watched her, but she has quite the spread. She's in her 30s, so she's like half my age, but she has like this tremendous feast for her OMAD, and she practices the clean intermittent fasting, which to me is the secret sauce of getting to maintenance and staying in maintenance and also losing the weight. It just, nature just seems to balance itself out. At least it did with me. For my clean intermittent fasting, I only have my black coffee, and I have it with Starbucks French roast beans and Starbucks espresso beans. And I combine the two whole beans in my heavy duty coffee bean grinder, and I do the coarse grind, and I do that, and I put that in my French press. So I have that coffee. It's just black. It's all black. It's piping hot. I love it. I have that in the morning. But first, I begin my day with Element, LMNT, raw unflavored packets. Pricey, but they work. And I have that in warm water with my thyroid pill when I first wake up, while my coffee is the water's heating up in the kettle, and then I pour it into the French press, and I let it bloom for like a minute, just a little bit of water just to kind of wet all the coffee grounds, and then I pour it up to the top. It's a 17-ounce Bodum French press, reasonably priced, and it's got metal around the glass part. I still like the glass part, but it seems a little bit more sturdy than just the pour over that I was constantly breaking and constantly replacing. I should have bought stock in the company. So I will have that, and then I just have my black coffee or maybe a sparkling water as the day goes on. I have my OMAD at 2. I don't mess with it. I don't do extended fasts. I'm a 72-year-old broad, and when I get to 2 p.m., I want to eat. I want my feast. I start work at 6 in the morning. I'm an in-store shopper or cashier, mostly in-store shopper. So I am pushing this heavy cart around corners and everything else. I consider that my exercise. A lot of steps, a lot of pushing, pulling, bagging, lifting, putting in cars, taking out of totes, a lot of physical stuff. And so I consider that my exercise. It's a blessing. So by the time I get home, I only work until 1 at the latest, and I go to prepare my OMAD. I'm hungry. I am. For example, today I am having a butter and sugar ear of corn from Florida. I had it flown up. Not really, but the produce manager told me it's from Florida. So I'm having that. I'm having my cabbage and broccoli slaw salad because lettuce doesn't like me. I like it. I used to love the Olivia's baby butter lettuce, but it just roils in my stomach. So I figured out that doesn't work. So I have my broccoli slaw and my cabbage slaw, both organic from Whole Foods, with craisins, crumbled blue cheese, also organic from Whole Foods, mushrooms, shredded carrots, more shredded red cabbage. Um, yeah, I think that's it. With 2 tablespoons of Bragg's vinaigrette, 2 tablespoons of 70 calories. Yes, and it's great because it's wet. And I add either a tablespoon of avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, or macadamia nut oil um, to the Bragg's. So I have a nice wet-ish salad. It's not it's not a soup when I'm done. It's just moist. All the veggies are moist. Sometimes I put on it organic from Whole Foods butter and garlic croutons, sometimes no croutons. And so I'm having that with my corn and a New York strip steak bone in. And I do it by searing it in my hex clad pan with, I sear it with butter and bacon fat. So I heat up the pan and the bacon fat and butter on medium high heat, and I plop that steak in, and I do 3 minutes on each side. And then, because it has that nice layer of fat around it, I will put it sideways and hold it for like a minute just to make sure all that fat is nice and browned as well. Then I turn it off. It's got 3 minutes on each side. It's still cooking. I put it on my heated plate along with my ear of corn and my salad. And I've been doing videos now of what I'm having, explaining a lot in the video where it's uncooked, unprepped, and then the finished product on my placemat on my table where I'm getting ready to have my feast. And I get a lot of nice feedback from people. They like to see what I'm eating. And some of the comments have been things like, I was afraid you really weren't eating. And it's like, no, here's my feast. I'm also having zucchini bread. It's Baxter's zucchini bread. They sell it at Stop and Shop. They had it when I first saw it. It was at Whole Foods, and they don't carry it anymore. But they carry it all the time. They also have banana bread, Baxter's banana bread. So I buy the little loaf. It's like $8, I think, or $7. And I freeze it. I cut it into sections and I freeze it. So I'm having that as a treat. And I'm also having cantaloupe, green grapes, and red grapes. And that will be my OMAD. So I'm going to go begin preparing that. So I think it was Dupuy asking me which was my favorite food plan and why. Well, I would say now because I've incorporated fruits and grains into my OMAD, and I've missed them. I sleep so much better having carbohydrates than when I was like keeping them under 10 or 20. If you are still in the losing phase of your journey and you want to keep losing, I don't think there's anything better than keto. Under 10 is it's a little too strict, but you'll get the job done. Under 20 allows just for some veg and so it's not as carnivorish. And those are the two versions of keto that I would recommend to drop that weight quickly and still have the satiation that you might be wanting from the meat, from the fat, and then the psychological thing of having the veg with it too, right? It just works. But keeping it under 20 total carbs, no matter when I was counting carbs, I never did net carbs. That is a neighborhood that is dangerous. That's like smoking pot and thinking you're sober, if you know what I mean. You're playing a dangerous game with net carbs because we all know how you can find way too many carbs because they're only net. No, 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 no. Total carbs only. That's all I counted. So I got to maintenance, and I'm very happy here, and I've been in maintenance for a couple of years now. And I got to that OMAD and the clean intermittent fasting part. It's just working for me. And that's why I like it, because I can have whatever I want. And I don't have treats every day. So it's not like, whee, whatever. No, I have meat, veg, salad, sometimes bread, sometimes not. I have eggs and bacon. Yesterday I had a 2-egg omelet with provolone cheese, bacon on the side. It was divine. So I still have things like that with my salad, sometimes with croutons, sometimes not. But I don't practice any deprivation. That's what can get you into trouble. To me, it's building up to binge, not having anything. But it took a long time because I'm a food addict and I'm addicted to more and I'm a compulsive overeater. So once I get that bit of a sugar or a grain, I could be in trouble. But I've spent a lot of time and work on this to get to the place where I can have a piece of bread or I can have a little dish of ice cream, because I've learned that it doesn't mean it's the last time I'm ever having it in my entire life. How many times did you promise yourself you were just going to finish this up and you'd never have it again? Which, of course, is foolish, because of course you're going to have it again. We're human. It's there, especially now in the summer when there's so many entertaining sort of events and you're around people and there's spreads of food. This way, nope. If I'm going to have something, I'm going to have a normal, whatever that word means, a slice, small dish, serving of something, because I know that I will have it again. I can have it again because I don't practice deprivation. To me, the miracle comes from the clean intermittent fasting part of my food protocol. Just black coffee, just plain water, the element in the morning. If I have bubbles, it's going to be an unflavored San Pellegrino, something like that. I don't have flavored waters. I don't have 0-calorie sodas at all. Those things do not fit into clean intermittent fasting. Those things are low, they're just 0-calorie foods, but they're still foods to your brain. Because when you have a Diet Coke, a Zero Coke, a Zero Fanta, a Zero A&W root beer, your brain is still getting those flavors and saying, oh, food's coming, and all of that digestive juices start flowing, the insulin starts pumping, and so even though it's zero calories, you've still told your brain it's food. So hence, just plain water, just black coffee. The cephalic response, something like that. Check it out, cephalic, CEPHALIC response does not respond to bitter. Hence, the black coffee doesn't trigger any insulin drop, any sugar drop, okay? So you're safe with just plain water, just plain mineral water, no flavors, not a skosh of something in your coffee, not a packet of something in your coffee, just black. That's how I do it. That's my success. And so that's why I share it here, because I'm not sharing what works for somebody else that I wish worked for me. I'm sharing what works for me because I practice it every day. So the proof is in the pudding. I have absolutely no regrets. I'm 72 and I love eating what I eat. I love food. I live for food. Do I think about food all the time? Probably. I work in a grocery store. So it's not enemy territory anymore, because with OMAD and clean intermittent fasting, I know I can't have it at 10 in the morning when I'm still clean intermittent fasting, but if I want, I could have it with my OMAD because I'm not depriving myself. And so it's just what works for me. That's why I come here on Fridays and share that with you. Now I'm doing the videos of what I'm going to eat, and then I prepare it and I show you on the table what I am eating, and it all works for me. So this is the best food plan I've ever done. Clean intermittent fasting, plain water, black coffee, and then my feast at 2 p.m. And so I'm getting towards 2 p.m. So it's getting close to me preparing that New York strip steak. Oh, yeah, baby. And what's left over is to finish up tomorrow's barbecue ribs. And it just continues to work. I keep it simple. I keep it organic with the veggies as much as I can. And by keeping it simple, I'm enjoying food for food's sake. I don't get into, I do have the slice of bread, I do have a dish of ice cream, but I don't get into cookies and crackers and things like that. I try to avoid overly processed foods, even though I have that slicer at times. Okay? I'm human, but I have it. And so, but I don't have cookies and crackers and things like that. I avoid aisle number 3 if you have the same aisle 3 that I have. So thank you so much for being here. I couldn't do this without you. I'm not going to do it without you. Life is good doing clean intermittent fasting with my OMAD at 2 p.m. Thanks for watching. I'll see you here the next time, or I'll see you on my What I'm Eating Today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.